Welcome back, boys and girls, to the NAO show. It is Marky Mark and the Prince here for your viewing pleasure. Marky Mark was so upset last week that we did Would You Rather, and he kicked the tank top Mike off the show this week so he could be the sole provider of the show, because we all know I'm not doing it. How you doing, Marky Mark?
Great, man. Glad to be back. Seems like forever, man. It's been 3 weeks since I've taped, so let's get it going, man.
Well, on behalf of all of our 3 viewers, we welcome you back.
We love you both. Oh wait.
All right. Yes, you both.
You said
not
3.
Evan.
You said
Evan
3.
doesn't count.
Okay. All right. There you go.
All right. So we're gonna play Would You Rather again, but Marky Mark edition. If you want to go ahead and kick this train into high gear, go right ahead there, boss.
All right. We'll do a fantasy one. This will be fun. We talked about Evan. Evan's gonna like this. He's gonna like this one right here. So would you rather roster Rashad White or Damien Pierce?
Whew! This is a loaded question. All right. I think I need to tell the fans the backstory on this. Evan has said that Rashad White has rainbows coming out of his butthole, and I personally have Damien Pierce in 2 leagues. So to say that I like your mug. Who got you that?
Yeah, talking about what I got my drink in or my face, but either way, I like.
Yeah. So I have Damien Pierce in 2 leagues. I actually had the opportunity. I think I had the opportunity in 1 league to not take Rashad White. But yes, Damien Pierce, I think he is going to be a 3-down back, the dying breed of the 3-down backs in Houston. He only has Marlon Mack and the remnants of Rex Burkhead in front of him, which I think is going to be a short stint in Houston. Sorry, A-Bomb. I know he won you a championship, so fuck it. But
31-year-old Rex Burkhead.
Fantastic for you, but Damien Pierce. But all right, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, I hope Rashad White goes crazy and I'm completely wrong. Caveat. How about you? What do you think? Rashad White or Damien Pierce?
Well, let me give you some info. Let's see if we can make an informed decision here, you know?
No, we don't make informed decisions on the NAO show. We just go with our heart. That's what yes, I'm not talking about that.
Well, Rashad White is 6'0", 214 pounds, 23.5 years old. So a little older coming out as a rookie. Pick 327, 3rd round, 27th pick. Speed is good. His effectiveness in college was good. He's a 3-down back. He is a junior college transfer. So in his senior year, though, his last year at Arizona State, he had 43 receptions, which is pretty impressive. He tested, and his productiveness is similar to David Johnson, who had some good years in the league.
Yeah.
So, the numbers are good there. The numbers are really good. Damien Pierce, on the other hand, 5'10", 224. So shorter, heavier, 22.4. So he's about a year, just a little over a year younger. Pick 402, picked in the 4th round, 2nd pick. Speed is kind of meh. His effectiveness in college was kind of meh,
Yeah.
But he really does profile as a 3-down back. Just he was used sparingly. So in 2020 he had 17 receptions. 2021 he had 19 receptions. So that's moderate production for a back in college.
I will say that the last 2 years, Ian will correct me as soon as he hears this part.
Yeah,
so we all know.
Yeah.
Once he chimes in, we'll know exactly what part he's at. I think the last 2 years, Damien Pierce has been running behind a god-awful offensive line in Florida. So I think his numbers aren't that I mean, someone could make the argument that the offensive line in Houston is not going to be as good as the Florida Gators offensive line, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. It was just kind of a mess there, I think, in Florida. So it's hard to say. I mean, if you look at these numbers side by side, you'd probably pick Rashad White pretty easily. But I found it amusing to hear a fantasy analyst say he was really high on Rashad White. You know, he was picked in the third round, and
good draft stock.
He's got the draft capital. He was picked number 27, so he was only a few picks away from the end of the round.
Almost third round.
And then he got to Damien Pierce. He's like, no way, man. He was picked in the fourth round. Well, he was picked number 2 in the fourth round in a very deep draft. So he was only like 7 picks difference between these two. But it's funny for me to hear that guy talk about it. Now, if he's looking at these numbers I'm looking at, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, man. But I don't know. I
think with a lot of dynasty rankings, they have Rashad White right around the 6, 7, 8 mark, and then I've seen Pierce as high as 11 and as low as 17. So people don't really know what to really expect from him, I don't think.
Yeah. There was one guy that I listened to had Pierce ranked as his RB32. So the last RB1 in the NFL, you know, which I think is probably a pretty good place to put him. I think he can beat that. He tested
the numbers I gave were rookies though. Don't
no,
the stat guys that are listening to this going, oh, 7, he's not 7, he's better than Eckler. No, he's not freaking better than Eckler.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, for
rookies,
you know,
all rookies in general.
Yeah. He kind of profiles a bit like Chris Carson, which is not a bad thing. You know, he was picked in, I think, the 7th round and killed it. You know, that doesn't happen
James
all
Robinson
the time.
of that draft class.
Right. It doesn't happen all the time, of course, but you know, it's definitely an outlier. But that just shows those guys are out there sometimes. We're not as high on them, but then they come in and they're just good football players. I kind of feel like that's the case with Damien Pierce. I feel like, you know, he went to the Senior Bowl and was very impressive against some of the better talent, you know, coming out of college, going into the draft. So I like Damien Pierce better than Rashad White based on the fact that I think Rashad White is going to have to earn his time on the field. If he's really good in pass protection and he picks up the offense like that, then he's going to be on the field with Brady. But how many rookies really pick up the offense that quickly, you know?
Well, playoff Lenny came into camp supposedly at 260 pounds of a Jello filled, you know?
Yeah.
So
now Rashad White's ADP is like on the rise, you know? Yes. Uncle Lenny's 260. He's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
Pear shaped.
Donut.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely got that donut around the middle right now. He'll drop that weight. He'll get back in there. He thought Brady was retiring. He was going to retire, you know, and Brady comes together. Back. Brady comes back. It's like, oh shit, man. I've been doing like donuts and pizza every day. So
Brady's like, wait, you didn't get the text saying that was just all a hoax, you know? Like,
yeah,
this is off-season mind games by Tom Brady. He had no intention of actually retiring.
Yeah, Lenny will get it down, but I would take Damien Pierce because I feel like he's got a quicker path to playing time than Rashad White. I feel like Pierce can jump up that rotation and be the top guy, whereas White, I think, has to kind of earn his way on the field behind Fournette, and I think behind Vaughn. I mean, I think if you put White and Vaughn side by side,
this is Marky Mark banging his drum for Vaughn.
I know. You put those two side by side, I'd say, I like Rashad White better. But Vaughn has been there a couple of years now, and is it a couple of years, maybe a couple of years? Yeah, a couple of years.
3 years, 2 years?
No, he's been there. It's his third year. And he did a little bit at the end of the season. He's probably got a little more trust out of Brady. So I feel like Vaughn is going to be ahead of him too, but we'll see what happens. It's all TBD, of course, but I'd go with Pierce.
So I got one for you. That's probably going to put a little fire in that brain of yours.
All right.
So would you rather win season 1 in a dynasty or win back-to-back championships after year 5? So you have to wait 5 years, but 6 and 7, you're going to be back-to-back champion. Or do you want to win the first one and never win again?
Because of the gap there, if you just said, I thought you were kind of going in the direction of saying, would you rather win the championship season 1 or win multiple championships later, kind of, not specifically 5 years later.
5 years, because I mean we're getting into what, year 3, year 4,
year 3,
year 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I talk to that guy that will not be mentioned, it feels like 10 years because that guy sucks life out of you. You know what I mean?
He drags it out, makes it seem like a lot longer.
Have you ever been in trade talks with him? I'd rather watch paint dry. Woo! But what do you think there, Mark and Mark?
Yeah, no, because of that gap, I'd have to say I'd rather win season 1. But I think a good strategy that for a dynasty startup is to try to get a lot of young upside guys, which doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to compete this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think and this is something more recent for me, is that I would rather compete in the second, third year, try to build a true dynasty and be able to have a bunch of guys that are still kind of simmering on my bench and coming up to speed, I think that's the way to go about a dynasty, because people that want to win now, championship's great no matter what the circumstances are, but a lot of times if you're going to win now, and I think you may see this will be a good experiment in this new league that we started.
Mm-hmm. The league that we're not allowed to talk about, that we're going to talk about in the show. Okay, go ahead.
We have a secret. We have the secret league and we have the super secret league. So in the super secret league, you're kind of going for all the gusto right now, and I drafted a little more for the future. Like maybe I'll compete this year, but next year, watch out,
Okay, in the super secret league.
Oh, now it's super. Sorry.
Yeah, the super secret league. I guess I can get on board with you because there are a couple of my players that are they're MVPs, but they're on the downslide of their careers. But the rest of my team is very, very good.
Yeah.
I want to say that.
Plus you've already given up draft capital, and in true Sean fashion, you've already given up draft capital for next year.
They're like $20 bills in a 5-year-old's pocket. They just burn that hole, baby.
Yeah. But I guess, for as far as your question, I'd rather win now. And I think even drafting, like I was talking about, where maybe you're looking to do, maybe I'm not as great this year, but next year and the years following, especially adding draft capital on top of that, I'm going to really be building something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to wait. Certainly wouldn't want to wait 5 years. I'd rather get it right away. And I'd even when you're drafting for the future, you're still looking at maybe this guy is an early riser, and I can compete this year and maybe sneak one in.
For me,
it's your question.
For me, it all depends on my vet draft. If my vet draft falls to me where I'm taking like the best player and not the young up and coming guy, I will know by like halfway through my vet draft if I'm going to go all in. And if I go all in and win year 1, happy. If I'm halfway through my vet draft, I'm like, all right, I have a lot of upside here. Shocker, the Prince likes upside. My whole freaking lineup's upside. I'd be like, all right, I'll wait until year 5 to win back-to-back. But yeah, I just want that one. So I would definitely pick year 1. I have a follow-up question, seeing how you were talking about how you're going to draft. Would you rather I guess it would be up to you. Would you rather have young running backs and old wide receivers in a vet draft, or young wide receivers and old running backs? Old being like 26, 27.
Probably go with the younger running backs. If we're playing Dynasty and I've got to have one that's old, got to have one position that's older, I'll go with the wide receivers there because they got a longer shelf life, and give me the running backs that, so as those older wide receivers kind of rotate out of my lineup, hopefully I'm replacing them in the rookie drafts with new young upside, and those running backs are still relevant, so yeah, just because of the shelf life, I'd definitely go with if I had to do it that way. Definitely.
See, I would go the other way.
Okay.
So I would go with the older running backs. So when I say older, I'm thinking like established guys like Derrick Henry. How old is CMC?
26, I think.
All right, so CMC on the light side, but like these guys I would be able to flip immediately for a guy in some picks. And all I'd have to worry about is running back, because all my wide receivers were young and they can still develop, Yeah. And then I would just really, really hit running back with my add-in, my player, and then with my draft capital, just create depth, That's how I would do it.
And you're kind of proving that in NAO, because you've definitely gone young wide receiver crazy.
Well, the thing is, like, just thinking about shelf life, like they have a way longer shelf life. If you're gonna spend money, I would rather spend money on a wide receiver that I know I'm gonna have for 5 years. Than, well, I can't say that because I spent 2 first-round picks on freaking CEH, who is now my freaking bench player. So,
I was gonna say that's the evolution with you, is that you started out going crazy for running backs, and paying up to get a good stable of running backs. And then it seems like you, maybe because of CEH, you kind of saw that maybe this isn't the best way to go, and you started going for the receivers. So I applaud you for that, because I think your roster is better now with a lot of these receivers that you have.
Yeah.
As opposed to, all the running backs there. Again, shelf life is less, and you're gonna you get all of those wide receivers, you're going to be able to count on them for a lot more years, and running backs can rotate in and out.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you got there, Primo? I know I see it in your head. It's just like, I know he's got one that's gonna.
This is a fun one. This is a fun one. That's it's a timely one from chat today.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Now, listen carefully, man. Listen carefully. Try to make this so you could go either way. There you go. Thank you. You look like a little girl. Look like a little girl on a sleepover. That's nice. Okay. Would you rather listen to Ian tell jokes for a solid hour?
Ew. Hard pass. Go ahead.
Or go on a 4-hour shoe shopping spree with your girlfriend. Now, note here, you can't wander off. You think, oh, I'm in the mall, I got Wi-Fi, I can do what I want. No wandering off. You got to stay, and you got to help her choose for 4 hours. So would you rather go on a shoe shopping spree with your girl, or listen to Ian tell jokes for an hour?
All right, so I've had the latter. I've been in a freaking shoe store for 3.5 hours. We tried on yeah, I started trying on shoes. I was like, these are pretty nice. I almost bought a pair of shoes. I was there for 3.5 hours. Golly.
You have this in a woman's 12?
Yeah, do you have this in a woman's 17? These are really nice. These should be unisex. Come on. Dude, I might sit there and let Ian tell me all his shitty ass jokes for an hour rather than sit there and try to. Hon, do these look good? They are literally the same white shoe you tried on 3 minutes ago. Look,
No. Let me correct you there. Those are eggshell white.
Yes, exactly.
The first ones were a different shade of white. I don't even know.
These are lighter white. No, they're freaking white. And they are the same brand and they are the same style. I don't know what the heck. Like, just pick a fucking shoe and let's get the hell out of here. Man, I stopped halfway through just to go into the story even more. Stopped halfway through and I was like, I need coffee to stand here and tell you exactly how I feel about these shoes for the next hour and a half. All right.
Did you hold her purse though the whole time?
No, she doesn't. She's not a purse person. Thank golly. Woo! I would have stuffed that purse right in my hoodie and just looked like I had a kid. But golly, shoe shopping with a girl is by far the worst thing ever.
I did well. I didn't know if I could pick one that you would choose over listening to Ian tell jokes for an hour.
Oh man.
But
at least I can tell Ian he's a freaking idiot for an hour while I can't tell my girlfriend she's a pain in the ass for 3 hours, you know?
If I had made it even 4 hours of jokes and 4 hours of shoes.
Oh, no. I'm shoe shopping all day, man.
Okay.
4 hours?
Okay.
My sanity is worth more than that. Golly, 4 hours.
I think I'd still rather do the shoe shopping because other women are in there shoe shopping too. So.
Oh, wow. Dirty old man. You're looking over.
You can't hide your lion eyes, as the Eagles sang one time. I think I'd probably be looking for something to stick into my ear and try to make it go through the other ear if I was listening to Ian tell jokes for an hour. So, at least shoe shopping, there's other females to partake in. So
I just started trolling her during school shoe shopping. Like, I'd pick up some like really ugly Crocs and be like, hey, how about these? These are really nice. Just some wild, outrageous things. And then she's just getting mad. And I'm just like, I'm standing here looking at you, putting on the same pair of shoes that are all different shades of white. It was horrible.
If you're not going to take this serious, we're just going home.
All right, let's go.
Woo!
Yes. All right, so I got a random one.
All right.
I have to really think about this. All right.
Let's hear it.
All right. Would you rather be a hobbit in Lord of the Rings or Aquaman fighting in space? Come on. All right. Let me explain this. All right. The hobbits are the most useless freaking characters in the Lord of the Rings. You could throw a rock in Middle Earth and hit somebody more useful than any of those freaking hobbits. And then you have Aquaman, that is, his power is being able to talk to freaking sea creatures in space. He is not. Oh man, I think it's funny. Who do you got?
You're killing me, man, because I don't know a lot about either one. I've seen the Lord of the Rings stuff, I know they got the big feet with the hair and stuff. And,
yes.
And Aquaman, gosh, Aquaman. My biggest thing about Aquaman is I love the Big Bang Theory, and the loser of all of them has to wear the Aquaman costume.
That's my point. Like, he's absolutely worthless, just like the hobbits.
Raj ends up wearing the Aquaman. He's like, man, Aquaman sucks. He comes in, he's like got the built-in seahorse that he's riding on. Even when I was a kid, I was never a big fan of Aquaman when I read comic books. And
so you're gonna pick the Hobbit in Middle Earth.
Guess I'm gonna have to be the Hobbit with the.
I was gonna pick the Hobbit too. At least they get to do fun stuff, freaking Aquaman being judged by freaking Batman and Superman going, why are you even here, dude? Like, what the heck? Are you even worth being here? Like, come on. Batman doesn't even have superpowers and he's better than you. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, you couldn't have picked two that I know leaning less about. So I actually did watch Lord of the Rings. My daughter loves it. And I guess they're coming out with something new in September. There's a new Lord of the Rings or something to do with that in September.
Breaking news on the NAO show.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, no. Even I know that, and I'm not into it, but my daughter is. So when I saw
what
the
you really
news,
feel. Call me what you really want to call me. It's okay. It's fine. I have thick skin.
When I saw the news nerd, then I said that. Yeah, I was like, hey, I got in touch with my daughter right away, and she's all excited, and she's like, oh damn, now we got to wait till September, So I'll probably watch that with her, just for her, not for me, not for me, not into it at all, not into it at all.
All right, hit me with one of your hardest question. What's your hardest question?
All right, and I will, before I go to that, I would say, if you want to watch Elijah Wood in something good, there's a movie called Everything is Illuminated. We talk about movies, and chat a lot.
Yeah.
Everything.
No hard feelings about movies in this chat.
No, I know. Everything is Illuminated. Really good Elijah Wood movie. Very underrated. You got to check it out. I love that movie. All right. Let's go on to another fantasy related question. So kind of the same theme. Would you rather roster James Cook or Isaiah Spiller?
Ooh. Am I in win now or am I in build mode?
I don't know.
You know what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm going to take James Cook.
You?
Really? I'm going to take James Cook. Okay. Proven commodity. If I need to flip him, I can flip him for a pretty good price without having to really explain myself all that much. No one's going to come back to me and go, well, he's Isaiah Spiller, like, whatever. Like, he hasn't done anything yet. So I'm going to take James Cook and hoping that he's like my RB5.
So you pick James Cook. What do you see his role being on the Buffalo Bills? What do you see there? What are you forecasting here?
So I'm forecasting that he's going to be a really good RB2 behind Josh Allen, and that he may or may not fall into the end zone once or twice. But Spiller has a running back in front of him that is fantastic. Wait, Isaiah Spiller went to the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm on the right path. I was trying to not get myself into something that couldn't get out of. But Eckler is a fantastic running back that is going to be a top 5 running back this year. And there's no way Isaiah Spiller is going to be anything relevant right now. At least Cook has the off chance of being somewhat relevant.
Okay. I just I feel like Cook's going to be a receiving back. Now that could lead to a lot if you're playing from behind a lot, but I don't foresee them playing from behind a lot. I think that Singletary has kind of established himself as the first and second down back.
See, I can argue that.
Yeah, okay.
I think Singletary has established himself as somebody that can't be depended upon. I mean,
he can't be dependent upon for receiving. Last year,
right?
They tried to get him in the passing game, and it didn't work out too well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just not a good receiving back. He's undersized, but he's actually a pretty decent first and second down back. He's very elusive. He forces a lot of missed tackles. So he's a guy that he's going to, he's kind of established himself, I think, there. For whatever reason, they seem to be out on Moss. I think Cook really is just going to be a receiving back. I look at him sort of like Tariq Cohen kind of guy, where
Naheem Hines.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. Naheem Hines.
Is that a ceiling? Is Naheem Hines a ceiling?
Yeah, maybe.
All
But
the
yeah.
Cook managers are losing their darn mind right now.
Now he was picked in the second round, right at the end of the second round. Spiller was picked in the fourth round. So again, a lot of people would say, "Oh, guys picked that late aren't relevant." I still kind of maintain that this year the draft was deeper, and some of these guys went probably around later than they may have in a draft that wasn't as deep. So that's just conjecture right now. So we'll have to see.
Right.
But Spiller, 6', 217. He's only 21 years old. James Cook's 23 already. So he's younger. Um, he's yeah, Spiller didn't test well at all. They said something about injury. Maybe that was affecting him. He didn't do the combine when he did his pro day. It was a disaster,
Yeah.
But his college effectiveness. He had 2,000-yard rushing seasons, 20 and 21. 2019 he had 946, so he just missed 1,000 in 2019. He's a receiving back, 29 receptions in 19, 20 in 20, and 25 and 21. So he's got the college effectiveness. He didn't test well, but he's going to a high powered offense where he doesn't have to do a lot to beat out the guys, because it's sort of like every year it seems like we get excited about another guy going to Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers, still haven't got that out of my system. And it just hasn't panned out for any of them. So
Yeah.
I feel like he can jump up to the number 2. And I think we talked a couple of weeks ago about Eckler being a little older now, and
we can't be saying that stuff without Tank Top Mike here. Oh man, he's gonna lose his shit when he hears this.
Yeah. Now
I didn't say anything bad about Eckler. Tank Top Mike, please do not write me out of your will. Thank you.
We did see Eckler, squatting a pickup truck the other day. So that's
a Tuesday.
Good. Yeah,
it's a Tuesday for Eckler.
And I said to Mike at that time, he's a workout warrior. So he definitely is, for a smaller guy, he works out hard, and he can kind of overcome some of the stuff by the way he works out.
Not to put any voodoo on Eckler, but the last person that we all lost our minds on working out was James Conner in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It.
Connor had an effective season last year. His ADP is up there. So anyway, I think I'd pick Spiller, and I wasn't crazy about his testing either, man. I was really disappointed, and I dropped him down my rankings. But yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people had him before he started kicking the can, like right there with number 2 overall,
Yeah.
And then he dropped like a rock after his pro day, because he must have got really, really drunk the night before and did not show up for his pro day.
Walker tested better, but Spiller is more of a receiving back. So a lot of people had him up above Walker even. But yeah, he did drop after that poor testing. So I'd go with Spiller, but we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Do you want to try one more?
I do think that the Cook idea, that I really think he's been overdrafted in most rookie drafts out of either necessity, or they think they finally are going to start running the ball with a running back, which is absolutely hilarious because Josh Allen is the RB1. Our champion running back has deemed it as his nickname. So
I think the highest rushing total since Allen has been there for a running back is 850 yards.
Singletary, right?
This was just like I saw some general info that didn't have the names of whoever it was. Mm-hmm. The highest receiving total was like a little over 200 yards. So it's just not there, man. It's just, he's definitely Josh Allen's the goal line guy. He's running the ball often, and he's not dumping off to running backs. And it's more of a pass attack. It's a pass attack. So a lot of the running is going to him. So it's I don't know. It's just not there. It's just You look at the numbers over the time of Josh Allen, it's just not there. So to think Cook's going to come in there, and Cook was getting drafted in the first round, and I know in one secret league we thanked somebody for picking Cook so that we could take Damien Pierce.
Landon. Oh man, you're not supposed to do that on recording. Thank you. We also took Olave, so eat it.
Olave at what? Was it 11 or 12? 11, right? Number 11?
Second round. I just want to say the
Olave
second round
11.
we took Olave in the second round.
That could be our crowning achievement in the secret league.
Second.
Not to be confused.
First, not second in the first round.
Second
round.
Yeah, not to be confused with the secret league.
Yeah,
or
don't
super secret league. How many leagues we in, man?
I don't know. Let's add a couple.
Most of them are secret. So
all right, hit me with one quick one. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Would you rather go to war this season with Dylan's roster or Humpty's roster? Dylan, win now, Mr. Win Now. Playoff Dilly.
Win now with OBJ. He's not even on a team. I'm gonna go with Dylan's just because Humpty's lineup does not make me happy at all. Like, at least there's some guys I can be like, come on, James Conner, just fall into the freaking end zone like maybe 3 times this week. All right, come on, man, just do it.
Wow.
But what do you think?
Do you think Dylan can win with that roster?
You're thinking Humpty?
I'm trying to pick it up right now, and I'm having trouble.
Oh man, we don't have the time to be breaking down Humpty's.
No, I know
misfortune that is a lineup right now.
We're running out of time right now. Let me look at it real quick here. I've got it. Just the tips. That sounds nasty. So yeah, Stafford, Singletary, Carter. Oh gosh, yeah. Sky Moore, Tyler Boyd, Kyle Pitts, Sammy Watkins, McCall
Kyle
Hardman.
Pitts is a good pick. He's like the best player on your starting lineup besides Stafford. Stafford's good. Christian
Kirk. There's a whole, man. It's like a whole lot has to happen there. So you're going with playoff Dilly? Is that who you're taking?
Yeah, I mean he's got Brady, Fournette, Connor, Robert Woods, and Thielen. He's okay.
Mac, Harris.
I guess. Harris, he'll be all right.
Wow.
Edmonds will be all right.
Man, it's just like it kind of looks like the all geriatric team, though, man. Oh, of course, I love them, man. They're all, I can relate to these guys. They're more my age,
Well, on that note, now that Mark has literally called himself old, we're gonna end this show before he starts snoozing. And if you've ever seen the show, you know that Ian, you suck.